Hello. Well, we seem to be back in lockdown for a wee while, so we're going to just crack on with new stuff, as I mentioned on the stream. We're going to start with alkanoic acids and esters, a little bit of revision from last year, and then some new stuff. I've got slides here that I'd like you to go through. Take notes where it says a note. Try the examples. Answers are in the following slides. A little bit like you'd be in the lesson. So using either your wee jotter or your good jotter for the notes and things. After that, there is a Google quiz all about alkanoic acids and esters to try, and I've also got a revision quiz for you to do as well from pre-Christmas stuff. Okay, so here's just the starter question. That should all be revision for you. Answers are on the next slide. Learning outcomes, that will cover everything that we're going to cover today. So if going through the slides, just have a read through them. Then you get to somewhere where it says to take a note. Obviously, if it says take a note on your good jotter. All that is alkanoic acid, so it shouldn't be anything new. Then we get to the making esters. So we're looking at making esters, hydrolysis of esters, and uses of esters today. So esters are formed with a condensation reaction. A condensation reaction means water is always formed. You always use an alcohol or an alkanol, and a carboxylic acid or an alkanoic acid. Now, unfortunately, obviously we can't make the esters, so I've shown you a wee video about that later on, but the crucial thing is that you will need to take a note of the catalyst used every time. You've got to say it's concentrated sulfuric acid, not just sulfuric acid. So read through the next few slides, that's all about making them. There's a wee video about making them as well. And then you get to the naming and the structures of them. Here, you always start with an alkanoic acid and alkanol. The hydrogen from the hydroxyl group of the alcohol gets taken away, as does the hydroxyl group of the carboxylic acid. That forms the water, and the rest get joined up. So you have the C, then the C double bond O, then an O in the molecule, and the rest of the alcohol part. That is your ester. That is called methyl. So the alcohol part first, methyl, then the oxygen. This has to be where the carboxylic acid used to be. So you always break between the C double bond O and the extra O. So this was the acid, this was the alcohol. So it's methyl because it's one carbon, and ethanoate because there's two carbons there. So there's a couple for you to practice there. And then there's a few rules about naming them. So then when you actually get given a ester, for example, here, what did you do? You get to that line there, always break there, look which side is the single oxygen on there. That is 2 carbons, so it must be ethyl, and 3 carbons, propanoate. So the alkanoic acid part turns into O8 at the ending at the end of the ester name. So we go through these. So then we get to hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of ester is complete opposite of condensation. So you use water. You can use this in acidic, slightly acidically, or slightly alkali way. So if you use an alkali, you end up with salt rather than the acid. There's a wee note here about that, the two different reactions. And then you've got that there or on the summary sheet to the slide just to have a look at that. And then finally, the last thing you need to be able to do, apart from the uses, is given an ester, name the ester and work out the parent alcohol and the alkanoic acid. So again, always break it, the bond there. So break the bond here. That is the alcohol part, so 1, 2, 3. So that would be propan 1-ol. Remember to put the 1 in. And this is 1, 2, 3 propanoic acid. Okay, so the last wee thing, there's a few examples there. Another video to watch. This should take you a couple of hours to go through these slides. And then you go on to the uses of esters. And then finally, try the Google quiz. And then the revision quiz as well. Hopefully see you maybe on Friday with a drop-in Q&A. Hopefully that's helpful.